There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready.
Hey cuties, and welcome back to another CC haul. Today I have almost 200 new CC items for your kids, toddlers and infant sims. As always, you can find links to everything in the description down below, and I also make sure to link you to a playlist full of my previous CC hauls if you're still in need of more custom content after today's video. But without any further ado, let's get straight into this. I hope you're doing well, hope you're gonna have a nice weekend or you're having a great week depending on when you're watching this. I'm doing fine myself. It's gotten a little hot here the last few days, so people who've been here for a while will know I'm struggling. I don't like the summer, and I thought it was over this summer. I think there was only really 1 week where it was super hot, like 35 degrees Celsius every single day, and I was in the UK during that time, so I was lucky. I got away. The heat wave didn't get to me, and then it was just super, like when I got back, it was just so gloomy most of the time. It was very weird. The weather was very unpredictable. Like it was just raining on and off by the minute. Honestly, like 1 minute it could be sunny and then all of a sudden it looked like the world was ending and it was super rainy and stormy outside. I also have a kitty cat I don't know what she's trying to do, but she is in front of the mic and stepping on my keyboard, so hoping that doesn't get picked up. Also not surprising because it is almost their dinner time, but I had like a period of time last week where I was feeding some other cats and taking care of them for a week, and I had to have a 12-hour window in between the two times of the day that I went there. So I went at 8 a.m. and then at 8 p.m. and it's not 8 a.m. it's not my usual, like I woke up at 7:30 or something and fed my cats, and it's not their usual time to eat, so I had to feed them lunch and dinner earlier as well. And now they're kind of used to it a little bit, even though I feed them later in the morning again, and my cats don't make me up for breakfast, but they're just like used to that schedule now. But I know that if I feed them early at night, they're obviously hungry again, so I'm trying to like wean them back into their regular schedule, and they're not very happy about it. I mean, they're very funny, like they can be very persistent for ages, sometimes for an hour. They're just like, feed me, and I'm like, no, it's like 2 hours before your feeding time. And then all of a sudden they just walk off, and then I forget and I see that it's like an hour after their regular feeding time and both of them are just passed out sleeping. And I'm like, you couldn't have been that hungry if now your feeding time, it would have been an hour ago, you're just happily sleeping. I don't know. That's cats for you. But yeah. Now she's just sitting next to me looking at me expectantly like, what are you doing, mum? Why are you just talking and not looking at me and not feeding me? Get up. But that's that. I also have had to do a lot of revising this semester. The modules that I'm taking, it's just, there's a lot of reading for one of them specifically, and a lot of it is statistics and reading about math equations, and it's very, like, I was good at math at school and I liked doing it and I enjoyed it and I always understood everything, but there's something about reading about it that doesn't, like, it doesn't click. Like, I'm reading it and it doesn't make sense until I see the equation and I'm like, oh, okay, this is what you have to do kind of thing. But I don't know, reading about it, very, very confusing. Also because, like, the literature that I read for it, in psychology, I feel like it's a thing where people that write literature for it, they just try to use as many words as possible that make them sound smarter, and I don't know what that is about, because so many times they use the word and then in brackets they explain what the word means, and I'm like, that's kind of redundant. Like, then just, you know, either use the word and I'll just look it up, or just use the word that everyone knows, and it makes it harder to read about math if every second word there's like a highly like specific word for psychologists that you might also not know. And I'm like, we're trying to focus on math, like, can we please just describe this in the simplest way we could? But obviously no. I've always kind of disliked that anyways, when people throw around big words in science, because I understand that sometimes obviously if it's important for a definition or it's a word that specifically refers to something and there's no other word, and that's just like the, in parentheses, industry standard. But I feel like you just make it so inaccessible for other people like if other people are interested in something, you'd have to like learn a whole new language, it feels like, to get into it. Like there's so many words where at the start of my degree I would have been like, what am I reading? Like, what does any of this mean? And then you just get used to those words. But I would prefer if science was more accessible to everyone. Like if they could just read about a study and understand everything in it, because a lot of times I see people take a study and not fully understand the conclusion because it's put in words where you only understand what's going on if you're studying it or you have something to do with it or maybe work in like a different science. And that's just frustrating to me. Like, just make things more accessible for people, okay? We don't need these big words. We know you're smart. Don't worry about it. But that's that. That's been my life so far. I've also gotten like super obsessed. I talked about this game like maybe last video, I can't remember, called Grimshire. And it's I don't want to say cozy farming game because it's quite stressful. It's about like an island full of animals and you have to, there's like something that happens within the story and you're responsible for pretty much feeding the animals throughout the year, and then different things happen and it makes it harder and it's just very stressful. Like I was usually in farming sims, I'm not interested in talking to all of the villagers because of the person I am. I'm just like, I want to grind, I want to like get all of these achievements. The villagers, whatever, I don't care. Like I talk to them when I have to, kind of thing. An introvert through and through, honestly, even in farming sims. Because I always find it so funny when people are like, oh, I didn't like this farming sim because I didn't like the dateable characters or whatever. I'm always like, I don't care. Like, could not bother me less. Like there wouldn't have to be any good writing in the game for me. I just want like fun game mechanics, if that makes sense. And I'm kind of the same in The Sims, to be honest. My Sims never have a lot of friends or social interactions. I get the notification so many times where it's like, oh, they feel lonely. And I'm like, oh no. Let me call a friend real quick, you know. My poor Sims, oh my god. But yeah, that game is just so much fun. And I didn't even, that's where we're coming from. I didn't even have the time to talk to anyone, even if I wanted to. There were literally not enough hours in the game, in the game to do the things I had to do. So there was no way I could have socialized. Like I would love to see, I kind of have to look into other people playing it. I saw that they did an update recently because the game is in early access. Have I mentioned that it's called Grimshire? I hope so. It's an early access. I would highly recommend it because it's honestly the most fun I've had with a farming sim in a long time. I mean, Fields of Mystery I really loved at the start, and I've just noticed that, honestly, I don't know why, and I don't know if I feel like there must be other people who are like this, but for some reason character customization got so important to me in games. Like I just love things that are aesthetically pleasing. Probably why I got into custom content so much, and like early on, like even in The Sims 2 when I was super young, I'd have like a bunch of custom content just because everything has to be aesthetically pleasing to me. And I love to play around and like create different characters and have different outfits. And Fields of Mystery for me, I don't know if I've just not found all of the super cute outfits yet or whatever, but there's not that many things that I really love. I feel like I'm constantly wearing the same things or like similar version of things because the stuff isn't just not, I mean, it's cute, don't get me wrong, the items are cute, but I feel like it's hard to put together a lot of different cute outfits in that game for your character, and it's something that has gotten so important to me even in farming sims, and I don't know what's wrong with me. I mean, there's like a million hairstyles, but I just always want more. Like, unlocking new hairstyles and clothing items in games for me is so much fun. And I don't know if, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's one of the simpler things to add to games as well, because it's, you know, especially pixel games, it's not, obviously it's time consuming, but not as time consuming as putting like a whole new game mechanic into the game. And it would make me equally as happy if I could just find more things. I love that in general, like having things that you can collect and then complete your collections. That makes me very, very happy in games. But there's that, have been obsessed with that. There's also so many games that have already come out and that are gonna come out in August. It's insane, and I'm so busy and sad that I can't play all of them. But there's a game that came out and I played the demo version for it. I haven't bought it yet because I know that if I did, I would not stop playing it. I don't really have the time for it right now. I think it's called Tiny Bookshop, something along those lines. And the demo version really surprised me. Like, it looks aesthetically really cute, obviously. Like, it's very, very pretty. But also, I'm a reader, and you sell books in like your tiny little bookshop van that you take around the map, and you go to different places and meet different people and stuff. But they also sometimes ask for recommendations, and I was just kind of expecting like a simple system where you look through your books and it's like very obvious what you have to pick. But they ask for a book, and then you go through your genres and through the different books, and they're all books that actually exist in real life. So it's so fun because sometimes it's books that you've read or heard about, and then you're like, oh, it's something that you might want to read because you read the description in game and you're like, oh, this sounds good. So I feel like for book lovers, that would be the perfect cozy game to play, which is why I'm very excited to play it. It's like, it's going to be like a post-exam reward probably for me that I'm going to get myself. And it just, the demo version was so much fun, and it's like it felt very different to other games that I've played, and I've played so many games at this point, and I feel like whenever Grimshire was the same as well. Whenever I play a game that just thinks outside the box or has like a new concept, it's just so fun for me. But yeah, that's that. I feel like I got very out of breath because I feel sick and I can't breathe properly. So I'm sorry if that got picked up a lot and was kind of annoying. Nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. Hopefully it's better in the next video. I'm sure it is. But anyways, with that said, the video is coming to an end real soon here. I hope you enjoyed all of the CC, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you all next time. Bye!